I've read 15 books in the month of March, and dare I say, this has been the best reading month since I read Throne of Glass. And on top of that, I also found a series that gives the same energy as Throne of Glass. So maybe those two things correlate. There's one dud in here, but other than that, this has been such a great reading month. But let's go through them and see if they're right for you. Anyways, let's get into it. We have a couple of books to go through here, so I'm going to talk pretty quickly. But first and foremost, I finished the Red Rising series, or at least what's out so far. Insane stakes, morally great characters. Literally every single one of them, you're questioning their morals and loving them at the same time. You need to read the series immediately, at least the first trilogy. The second one, I would recommend that you wait until Pierce Brown announces the fourth and final book of the second series, because I don't know what to do with my life after finishing Lightbringer. Anyways, highly recommend, yes. Next, we have the Lady of Darkness series. Now, this is the closest thing I have read to Throne of Glass ever. It's essentially Throne of Glass, but make it darker, spicier, but the same emotional damage. The plot in here is fantastic. I love all the characters. I will say this, nothing compares to Aelin Ashford Galathinius. However, I still love all the characters in here. The FMC can be kind of sufferable sometimes, but you get over it. This is such an underrated series. Absolutely, yes. Next, we have Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. I don't typically read a lot of sci-fi. However, this book made me thinking I could apply to NASA and actually get the job. One of the best side characters of all time, and the movie is just as good. Honestly, this is the best audiobook I think I'm gonna have this year. So if you're gonna read it, make sure you get the audiobook. Next, we have the Book Club for Troublesome Women by Maria Bostwick. I almost DNF'd this, but instead I ended up crying like a little baby. This is a story of female friendships, so absolutely yes, I love this. It's like a warm, cuddly hug from your friends. Next, we have The God of the Woods by Liz Moore. I can see why people have mixed feelings about this book. I liked it. I'd still recommend it. However, the ending was a little meh to me, but I still really liked it. And then I read You Better Believe I'm Gonna Talk About It by Lisa Rinna. Yes, but only if you're a Bravo girly, specifically a Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Other than that, you're not gonna understand 90% of this book. But if you do, hell yeah. And then I read Dear Debbie by Frida McFadden. Okay, I lied. There was 2 no's in here. I love Frida McFadden. I am losing hope with some of her writing recently, though. I'm not gonna lie. There's absolutely no tension in this book, so no. Next, we have True Colors by Kristen Hanna. First and foremost, I love Kristen Hanna, love her writing. Everything about her is amazing. This book has family drama, emotional damage, so absolutely yes. And lastly, The Conditions of Will by Jessa Hastings. Full disclosure, I did purchase this book prior to my knowledge of her controversies, and even without the controversies, I'm gonna say no. There's an LGBTQ character in here that is not represented well. In fact, I think it's actually harmful for that community, so that's my personal opinion. I'm gonna say no to this. I don't think this book is worth overlooking the controversies either, so there's that. Ow, that really hurt. Okay, let me collect my books here. They're all out of order, it's fine. But anyways, these are the books that I read this month. I don't know if I'm gonna have another reading month like this. Everything in here was fantastic except for 2 of them. Sorry, I had to say it. Hopeful that I can keep this going because this was such a great reading month. That's all, toodaloo.